Good afternoon, children.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Last class, we just started with the mechanism of hormone action, but we couldn't complete it. So I thought I'll just start from the beginning of mechanism of hormonal action. And I told that a hormone has to combine with a receptor, which is present on the target tissue. The hormones produced, they are specific in their action and they will act upon the target tissue. And on this target tissues, there will be some receptors present. So hormones will bind with these receptors and they form hormone receptor complex. Hope you are getting the point. Hormones, they'll combine with, just like enzyme substrate. In chemistry, you might have learned. Have you learned about enzymes? Enzyme substrate complex and all? EP? Have you? Haven't you learned? Nobody have learned. Okay. So just like enzyme is combining with substrate to get transformed into products, here hormones, they are specific in their action. They need to act upon target tissues. So hormones will combine with some receptors present on the target tissues and they form hormone receptor complex. And this complex which is formed will lead to the formation of some physiological changes in the corresponding on the respective tissues. And I told there are two types of receptors, intracellular receptors, and which is the other one? One is intracellular, the other one membrane receptor. As the name suggests, membrane receptors are present on the membrane of the cell or membrane of that particular structure, whereas intracellular, intra means inside, they'll be present within the cell. So let's see how these two types of, or how hormones are binding with these two types of receptors. Hormones produce their effects by binding with specific proteins or receptors which are located in the target tissues. And a hormone will bind to that specific receptor. So the receptors are also specific. Hormones cannot bind with any receptors. So they are specific in their binding. So hormone can bind only to that specific receptor, result in the formation of hormone receptor complex. Once the complex is formed, it will bring about some biochemical changes regulating the metabolism and physiological functions. You know that hormones play a very important role in different activities like metabolic activities, regulates the physiological functions. All that is brought about once the complex is formed. Once hormone combines with the receptor and forms the complex, this will result in some biochemical changes and regulation of metabolic and physiological activities will take place. So that is the gist of what we are going to explain. Now, depending upon the type of receptors, mechanism of hormonal action. I told there are two types of receptors as you can see in the figure. In the first case, the receptors, it is there in the membrane, whereas in the second case, it is inside the cell. Membrane receptors and intracellular, membrane bound receptors and intracellular receptors. We'll start with the first one, membrane bound receptors. As the name suggests, these are attached to the membrane. Some hormones, they interact with the membrane bound receptors. So if the target tissue is provided with membrane bound receptors, the hormones need not enter the cell, need not enter the target cell because its specific receptor is present attached to the membrane. So they will interact with the receptor present on the membrane. And once it has attached to the membrane, bound receptor and forms a hormone receptor complex, it will generate some second messengers or secondary messengers will be released. In case of membrane bound receptors, once the hormone combines with these membrane bound receptors, it will form a hormone receptor complex. And the formation of the complex will result in the generation of some secondary messengers like cyclic AMP, adenosine monophosphate, like ATP, adenosine triphosphate. This is having only one phosphate group. So adenosine monophosphate, IP3, inositol triphosphate. IP3 is inositol triphosphate and calcium ions. So any of these can act as secondary messengers. These messengers will regulate the metabolic activities of the cell and bring about physiological changes. So in membrane bound receptors, first of all, the hormone will get attached to the receptors present on the membrane. They form hormone receptor complex, and once the complex is formed, it will release some secondary messengers. Examples: cyclic AMP, calcium ions, IP3 or inositol phosphate are some of the secondary messengers. Rest of the functions will be carried out by these secondary messengers. They will alter, they will regulate the metabolic activities of the cell and bring about physiological changes or physiological effects. So here, with the help of an example, we'll see it once again. Say for example, FSH. What is FSH? What is the expansion of FSH, Nandana?
Follicle stimulating.
Follicle stimulating hormone. So for example, a follicle stimulating hormone, it will get attached to the receptor present on the membrane and they will form a hormone receptor complex. Now what is next? Once the complex is formed, this is response 1. So first response is brought about by the interaction of the hormone with the receptor. This will initiate the production of second messenger, cyclic AMP, calcium ions or inositol triphosphate. So once these second messengers are released, they'll bring about biological responses, bringing about physiological effects in the body. For example, follicle stimulating hormone will bring about ovarian growth, maturation of the ovarian follicles. So first hormone receptor complex is formed and this will result in the generation of some second messengers like cyclic AMP, calcium ions or IP3, and it is these messengers or these substances which will bring about biochemical responses, bringing about physiological effects. So if it is FSH, the physiological response or effect brought about is the growth of ovarian follicles or ovarian growth. So that is about membrane bound receptors. Now we are moving on to the next one. Intracellular receptors, as the name suggests, intra, inside, inter, in between. So intracellular means these receptors are inside the cell. In the first one, hormones, they need not enter the cell because the receptors for them to bind were present on the membrane. So they don't have to enter the cell. But here the case is not like that. Here the receptors are present inside the cell. Mostly they are present inside the nucleus. Inside the cell, to be more specific, they are inside the nucleus. Majority of them are nuclear receptors. So here you can see the yellow line, this part. So here you can see this is nucleus. So nuclear structure, this is the membrane. So the nucleus is shown over here. So it is inside the nucleus. Example for such hormones are steroid hormones, cytothyronins. And these hormones generally regulate the expression of the genes or the function of the chromosomes. They regulate the expression of the genes They regulate gene expression or the function of the chromosomes by interacting with by the interaction of the hormone receptor complex with genome. As I told you, in intracellular receptors, the receptors are mostly nuclear receptors, means they are found inside the cell, to be specific, inside the nucleus. Example for such hormones, steroid and thyronins. And they also will form a hormone receptor complex. The hormone will bind with the receptor present in the nucleus and will form a hormone receptor complex. And this hormone receptor complex will bring about changes in the gene expression or chromosome function, because they are interacting with the genome. Genome means genetic material, because the receptors are inside the nucleus. So hormone is combining or binding with the receptor which is present inside the nucleus. Hence they get a chance to interact with the genome or the genetic material, and hence they will regulate gene expression or the function of chromosomes. And cumulative biochemical action, repeated biochemical actions will bring about physiological effects. Just like we said in the previous case, it will bring about hormone receptor complex, will bring about biochemical responses, which will initiate physiological responses too. So here you can see the example. Hormone. Here they have given the example for membrane bound receptor. They gave the example of FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. So estrogen is a hormone which binds with intracellular receptors. So this hormone will bind to the receptor which is present inside the nucleus. Then definitely they will form a hormone receptor complex, as in the case of membrane bound receptors. Now it will stimulate the genome. It will stimulate genome or genetic material. Why? Because these receptor complex, it's formed inside the nucleus. Receptors are inside. See the figure, children. This is the hormone. This one is the hormone, and the receptor is present inside the nucleus. So here you can see the genetic material, and it is inside the nucleus. So once the complex, so this is the hormone receptor complex, once it is formed, it will influence or it will stimulate the genetic material and results in the formation of messenger RNA. And messenger RNA will get translated into proteins, and these proteins will bring about physiological responses. For example, if it is estrogen, it will bring about tissue growth and differentiation. So once again, in the case of intracellular receptors, these are present, the receptors are present inside the nucleus. So hormones will enter the nucleus, bind with the receptors present inside the nucleus, and they will form hormone receptor complex. Since they are inside the nucleus, once the complex is formed, they can stimulate the genome or genetic material, and they will result in the formation of messenger RNA. They will form messenger RNA. Messenger RNA will get translated into proteins, and this can initiate some physiological responses in the body. Now you might be thinking, what is messenger RNA? How is protein formed from it? Next year you will be learning in detail about it, but just briefly I will tell you. The DNA. The DNA, one of the strands of DNA, you know DNA is a double helical structure. So in this context, actually, you don't have to learn in detail, but just briefly, I will tell you. The DNA or the genetic material, one of the strands will get transcribed, or the information present on one of the strands of DNA will be copied to RNA. Hope you know what is DNA and RNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. RNA is ribonucleic acid. So information present on DNA will get copied to RNA molecule, messenger RNA molecule, and this messenger RNA molecule will get translated into proteins. So next year, you will be learning in detail about these processes. Just a minute, I'll just show that once again. DNA, RNA, we call this as transcription. It's a process by which the genetic information present on DNA is copied into RNA. Then this RNA, that is messenger RNA molecule, will get transformed into proteins, and you call this process as translation. I'm not going into detail. All these are very detailed topics. For the time being, you just understand that synthesis of proteins in your body is taking place like this. Your DNA is double-stranded, and the genetic information present on one of the strands of DNA will be copied to messenger RNA. That process is known as transcription. Then this messenger RNA undergoes another process known as translation, by means of which it will form proteins. So next year in chapter 6, you will learn it in detail. It's a very detailed chapter. So now you need not worry about transcription, translation and all, but just understand what is happening once your hormone is attaching with the intracellular receptors. Once hormone binds with intracellular receptors, they will stimulate the genome. They'll stimulate the genome, and then what happens? Once the genome is stimulated, messenger RNA will be formed, and this messenger RNA will get translated into proteins. And these proteins will bring about physiological responses like tissue growth, differentiation, etc. Is that clear, children? Yes. Don't worry about messenger RNA, all those translation, transcription and all. Next year you will learn. But for the time being, you just understand that once in the case of intracellular receptors, once the complex is formed, it will stimulate, because this complex is formed inside the nucleus. So this will stimulate the genetic material and results in the formation of messenger RNA. And gradually this messenger RNA by another process will get translated into proteins, and these proteins can bring about physiological responses. Okay. So with that, we have completed the chapter, and I hope you know which are the deleted topics. You know the deleted topics? I think twice we have forwarded in the group. So from the printed notes also, you won't be able to identify which are the printed notes. As I told earlier, I have been deleted anything except in one chapter. I think one chapter I had deleted those topics removed by CBSE. But nowadays, in all the printed notes which I'm forwarding, I have been deleted. So please check your, deleted topics PDF which is forwarded in the group, and accordingly you can select from the printed notes. And in the class I used to mention, so you at that time when I'm telling about the deleted topics, you can mark somewhere over there. And with this we have completed the chapter chemical control and coordination. And children, one more thing, you will have very less time to prepare for your annual exam. I think once the portions are completed, you will get very brief gap before your exam starts. So please make it a point to start revision now itself. Fix a timetable on a regular basis. Start learning. Otherwise, you will be in trouble. Only 1.5 days gap, I think you have in between the exams. I'm not sure, but that is what I heard. In between the exams, you will have just 1.5 days. Half day means the day the exam is getting over, and then 1 day. That is very less for you to cover the entire syllabus. So the only, I don't know, I'm not sure. If it is like that, you will really find it difficult to cover the entire topic. So on a daily basis, one chapter from all subjects, try to learn. You have now, what is today's date? 12. Not even 1 month you have. At least now you should start. I used to tell this always to learn your daily lesson, because we keep on, when we have 3-4 periods and all, we'll be taking chapter after chapter and taking test and all. I used to do, but being online, we have limited facilities to carry out all these testing. And please make it a point, at least now those who haven't started any revision now, I'm not only telling about biology, for all the subjects, whether it is chemistry, physics, maths, whatever it is, start at least today. Otherwise it will be too late and you won't get time to cover the entire syllabus within that short span of time. But if you start your revision now itself, you don't have to worry, just a revision will do. Okay, I keep on telling this from day one. I'm saying, I don't know how many of you are following. Steffi, you have started your revision?
No, ma'am.
Please do start today. If not today, tomorrow. Okay. Otherwise, I will hear you saying, ma'am, there is no time. And don't ask whether any topics will be deleted. So today also we had a discussion with sir. So we won't be deleting any topics. As such, CBSE has deleted enough topics. Again, from that, we won't be deleting. Okay. So please make it a point, because in biology, I think many of the chapters, very less content has got reduced so much. So daily you can definitely learn one chapter. Why don't we start revision? I'm ready to carry out revision if you are willing. 10 minutes I can set aside for revision if you are ready. That you can post in the group whether you want it or not. Only if I get a positive reply from you, we can have a revision. I think daily one chapter you are learning within, I think, 18 days. Hardly we get time. Maximum 18-20 days we can complete one round revision. If you're willing, let me know. Okay, now we are going to start the next chapter. And before the next chapter, you want a 5 minutes break? Just 5 minutes I will give you. After that, we are going to start the next lesson. And children, I have told you repeatedly, please don't turn your videos off.